Hello, I am Majid 2006. Welcome to the channel What We Are Why. Has your partner done something to really upset you? Has it forced you to consider whether or not they deserve to be with you? This could be something big or small, but they've crossed a boundary and are making you question things. Should you give them a second chance? You might want to consider a few tests they need to pass before making your decision. When things go wrong in a relationship or when an ex comes back begging to make amends, we're tempted by the thought of giving second chances in relationships. And most of the time, the temptations seem too strong to ignore. In fact, a study claims that around 70% of people have some level of regret in their life. The same study also found that men are more likely than women to want another go at a romantic relationship. Trust us when we say that a lot of people have been in the place you're currently in. Before you take the plunge and consider giving a second chance in a relationship, there are a few essential things you need to take note of, a checklist of sorts. 1. Have they acknowledged their mistake? Step 1 is acknowledging that they've done something to hurt you. It sounds simple, but many people are too proud to admit that they've done something wrong. They might make out like you're being very dramatic by being upset about nothing. Or they might try to brush it under the carpet. If your partner can acknowledge that they messed up, this is a really good sign. After all, nobody wants to be with someone who'll pretend not to notice how they feel. 2. Can you forgive your partner? Forgiving someone before giving second chances in relationships is an absolute prerequisite, claims Shazia. You've got to keep in mind that when you forgive someone, you're not necessarily doing it for them. You do it for your own mental peace so that you're able to function properly. After you forgive them, let go of the negative feelings and the hatred that you've been harboring. That then acts as the basis on which you can rebuild a caring and nurturing relationship, devoid of resentment and unresolved feelings. Before you mull over questions like, why should I give you another chance? Or, should I give him another chance after he hurt me? You need to decide whether you can forgive and forget their wrongs. Unless you're unable to accomplish this, attempting to rekindle things may be futile. 3. Are they trying to change for the better? If they're carrying on as normal, you will probably feel normal. Which, these days, may mean you feel on edge or nervous that they'll cheat again, or lie again, or whatever it was that upset you in the first place. To avoid that feeling, you need to see them actively making an effort to show they've changed for the better. That might mean no longer going out drinking with their ex, if they recently cheated on you with them, for example, to show that they are putting you and your feelings first. It might mean no longer lying about small things to show you that they can change and be more honest. Either way, they need to show that they're invested in being with you, and can change their bad behavior. 4. Find out your reason behind giving second chances in relationships. Are you considering letting go of how this person hurt you because you're petrified of being single? Or are you doing this because your friends commented, "My one true pair," on your Instagram couple pictures and they'd want you to be together? If so, you need to think again. According to a study, the most common reason why exes get back together is the lingering feelings they couldn't shake off, followed by a sense of familiarity, companionship, and regret. Don't give chances just for the sake of it, for the sake of society or anyone else. In cases where your friends or family want you to be together, give more importance to what you want. Love needs to be surrounded and supported by many other things to survive, so make sure your decision isn't based on something trivial, says Shazia. 5. Have they apologized? Apologizing shows that they're not gaslighting you or dismissing your feelings. They're taking responsibility by saying sorry for how they've made you feel. In an ideal world, they will apologize off their own back, without you needing to tell them that they upset you. Sadly, this isn't always the case, so you need to think about how they apologize and how that makes you feel. Don't just rush into accepting an apology. You can't take your acceptance of it back. You can't throw what they've done back in their face or continue to resent them once they've said sorry and you've accepted it. Take your time. If the apology is genuine, it'll still be there when you've had some time to process how you feel. 6. Are they committed to making things work? You'll be able to tell pretty early on if their behavior is half-hearted. Sure, they might make an effort to show they've changed for the first week, but they need to prove themselves as worthy long-term partners if they're going to get a second chance. That means making bigger changes and for longer. They need to show that they're emotionally invested in your relationship and want it to work, whatever that means to you. They should be checking how you feel, asking how they can do things better for you and how they can make you feel secure. They're being given a second chance, after all, and they need to show you, and make you feel, that they deserve it. 7. Ascertain if this person genuinely wants a second chance. You can't really prove if someone deserves a second chance, but you can make sure they're genuine about it. According to Shazia, one of the most important things to consider while you're giving second chances in relationships is if the person you're giving it to is actually remorseful about what they've done. If a partner comes back to you and you feel that they actually regret hurting you, in my opinion, there's a good chance that it's genuine. Of course, there are exceptions that you need to consider. So, if someone's coming back to you, make sure you listen to your gut as well. Do you get the feeling that this person is truly apologetic? What does your intuition tell you? 8. Are they willing to make compromises? Let's say your partner cheated on you with a colleague or ex. Are they now willing to either stop seeing that person or to enforce new boundaries? If they refuse to stop seeing their ex, even though they cheated with them, you've got your answer and it's probably time to call it quits. If they can agree to see the coworker they cheated with in a strictly work way, so no longer staying late for drinks in the office, not meeting up outside work for coffee, etc., that's them showing that they are willing to compromise and do things that will hopefully make you feel more secure and confident in the relationship. 9. Is this a pattern? It's time for some tough love, sorry. Is this the first second chance they've had, or is it technically their 5th chance? If the behavior that's upset you this time is something that has upset you in the past, this may be a pattern. Maybe they've cheated on you or lied to you before. If you forgave them once, they may think that they can keep getting away with it. For them to truly deserve a second chance, the thing that upset you needs to be resolved. For example, if they've cheated once, make it clear that any future incidents will be a breaking point for your relationship. They don't deserve to be with you if they repeatedly do things that they know upset you. 10. Understand that rebuilding trust is not going to be easy. You've got all the "I'm asking for a second chance in this relationship" texts, and you've decided to take the leap of faith. However, one of the most important things you need to keep in mind is that rebuilding trust after it has been broken is an uphill climb. You have to have lots of patience and you need to give time and space to the relationship for it to be able to breathe. Make sure you do not repeat past mistakes and never bring up the past scenarios in the current discussions. Always try to be neutral and have some empathy for your partner. When all your effort begins to pay off, you'll see things will start falling into place and form a clearer picture. Whether it's working out or not, whether you're able to regain the trust or not, or whether things are going in the right direction or not. You'll be able to figure it all out if you give the relationship time and consistent effort, says Shazia. Key pointers: giving a second chance in a relationship is normal, but you need to put your self-respect first. Ask yourself, is there a chance that this new relationship can flourish? If you're trying to get out of a toxic relationship, don't consider giving a second chance. Only when both partners are willing to put in effort can a second chance work out. Couples therapy can greatly improve the chances of a second chance relationship surviving. You can't really prove someone deserves a second chance, and when someone doesn't, the best thing you can go by in this situation is your gut feeling. Giving second chances in relationships is never easy, so make sure you take your time with your decision and only do something that you're completely on board with. FAQs. 1. Is it worth giving people second chances? If you think you found yourself in a right person, wrong time sort of situation, or if you think that there's genuine hope for your relationship if you give it another go, or if your gut tells you that it's worth another try, it's probably worth giving people second chances. However, if you risk re-entering a toxic relationship by giving someone a second chance, it's wiser to move on. 2. Does second chance work in a relationship? In a relationship, you need trust, support, communication, love, and respect for it to thrive. If you believe that the second chance will help you get a step closer to these fundamentals, there's a chance it can work. 3. What % of relationships work the second time? According to studies, about 40 to 50% of people get back with their exes. About 15% of couples who get back together make the relationship work. Now, if you want to be successful in romantic relationships and know more, subscribe to my channel. I made many tutorials for you. I will kiss you, my dear.